Welcome to the third episode of CMR Drive Forward podcast. This is your host Shipra, and today we'll talk about the most exciting shifts happening in the industry, which is electrification. And today we have a guest who is the founder and CEO of Mindra EV, and we are really happy that Dhairya is here. So Dhairya, your name, when I heard it is, I mean, it's a really nice name, Patience, right? If I'm not wrong. So, Dhairya, if you can let us know for our listeners and our viewers that what is Mindra, how it started, what was your thought process about it, what is it exactly doing, and what's your story exactly?
So thanks a lot, Shipra, at least to have with me here in terms of delivering my things, cater the, let's say, illustration in terms of industries, that what we are doing, what we need to do, and what's the vision behind this. And you have, I think, pointed out very correctly, Dhairya. It's like that. I think my family knows that I need to take a patience in my life a lot and lot being entrepreneur. So that's why
Okay.
they have, but yeah, so that's why they have put the name Dhairya. So in the
Okay.
life, I think we need to take a patience, and in the entrepreneurship journey, you need to take a patience.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's the much more important, I think, in terms of now to become a successful entrepreneur. So I'm heading currently a three organization in Mindra Group. I am a founder and CEO of a Mindra Group. There is a one is a Mindra Green Energy, where we are having solar on grid inverters. One is Mindra EV Private Limited, where we are doing EV charging stations, and now currently we are also entering into the BESS segments, where we have another company also that's for the battery storage systems.
Okay.
So this whole ecosystem is basically in terms of, let's say, we are talking about the power electronics generation, power electronics equipment, green energy, carbon credit, and currently if you have seen, like, the AQI is also very high in Delhi,
Yeah,
also
yeah,
Mumbai
absolutely.
also, and this kind of technology, or let's say this kind of revolutionary thing, which is going to replace existing, let's say, emission product in India, and going to be the converted into the green energy. That's what we are taking as a vision or mission.
Okay, okay. So, you know what? I mean, I understand about AQI, and especially in Delhi, right? The people are like suffering like anything. But what exactly is that, challenge that you're addressing with, Mindra EV in the ecosystem? What is that one big challenge that you are, really addressing?
Okay, so let's say challenge. There is a two kind of challenges that what we need to, let's say, face right now. First is as becoming entrepreneurship is also one of the challenge, and second is, let's say, industry point of view, there is also another challenge. I will give you a brief about the entrepreneurship a little bit, and then we will shift it to the industrial point of view. In terms of entrepreneurship, we are a first generation entrepreneur, so it's like we have a lake in terms of, let's say, experience, that how the company's journey been started, and it's been kind, how, let's say, the ecosystem of all the things. Like, we are coming from the tech background, we are a techie person, you can say, but then we need to also understand in terms of a commercial background, and the GST, direct taxes, indirect taxes, and everything. So it is kind of a role. So now when you are becoming the entrepreneur or founder and CEO, then you need to understand all these ecosystems by your own self. Secondly, when we are talking about a Mindra EV, not now, I'm talking about, let's say, 2017, or let's say 2018, then at that time we are a quite new generation company. Currently we are having a, let's say, family of 300, 350 odd numbers of the people. But at that time we were only two people, me and my brother Janam started this company
Okay,
together at
okay.
the 2017. And then it's like, let's say, it's kind of a new entry barriers. The market niche player is there. Many renowned companies, if you are talking about, like ABB is there, like Schneider is there, Siemens is there. They have their international presence, national and international presence in terms of the totality of power electronics. So we need to compete with all of them. But in this podcast, I will tell you that how our journey from becoming a top 15 players to currently in EV charger, precisely a top one player in India, continuously having the, let's say, ranking ahead and ahead in terms of a new generation technology, a new addition of the technology. But yeah, the market is always tough for the new, generation players. It's the time that how you can govern the things with the new advanced technology as well as innovation.
Right, right. Uh, so, talking about, I mean, talking about your personal challenges, I'm sure while building the Mindra EV, there must have been a lot of challenges which you have faced. And as we can see that you are the most young founder and CEO. So, there must be a lot of challenges, and I'm sure there must be a lot of patience that you have learned, while working. So just on EV, when you talk about EV, right, everyone is talking about EV. What is that biggest EV myth that is being doing rounds in the industry? What do you think, according to, is the myth about EV, which people are not able to understand, or they're confused about a lot of, with lot of options that they have got? So what exactly is that?
Okay. So there is a two question that summing up this whole topic. One is
Hmm.
that what kind of a personal challenges that what we have
Hmm.
catered in terms of family background. So it's a time that when we started the Mindra, the first 1,000 days or 1,200 days,
Hmm.
we work for 18 hours. There is no any another substitute of the work. We need to do
Right.
a hard work. It's like we need to carry the goods by our own self. In it,
Hmm.
it's a kind of a thing that we need to clean our premises by our own self. And the good
Okay.
part and the bad part is that we, in the starting of our company foundation, the COVID came. 2020 is the time when
Okay.
COVID came. We started at
Okay.
2017 ending.
Hmm.
So it's kind of era that it is kind of a sustainability.
Hmm.
So there is only one thing which I learned from the, let's say, industries is the survival. If you
Hmm.
survive the things, then only, or if
Survival
you
of
can
the
sustain the
fittest.
things, then only fittest. Yeah, it's kind of a thing that what we need to cater.
Hmm.
So family, I gave my company almost 18 hours, and that's why
Hmm.
I believe now that the family which I belong to rather than the family which I build is much more important for me as a
Right.
becoming an entrepreneur. And
Right.
that's why there is always questions from my family members that why you are not giving me the time, why you are not saying. But it's like there is no any substitute than the hard work. There is no kind of let's say a shortcut or something that we need to follow.
Right.
So that's always there. And I think after the let's say this successful 8 years of the journey, still they are still finding that why you are not giving me the time. So this is
Hmm.
kind of a
Wha-
question every founders will be there.
So
So
while the family must be asking why are you not giving time, I'm sure they must be your biggest support system, right? With all the things that you're doing and whatever your plans in future. So yes.
yeah, absolutely. They are the always the biggest support system because if the family support is there, then you can at least focus in your work mentality, what we can say.
Hmm.
And it's kind of, let's say, if you are ill, you need to work. If you are tired, you need to work. If you
Hmm.
are, let's say, finding any problems in your personal life, then you need to work. So this
Hmm.
kind of a motto that what we are catering right now, at least to make the Mindra right now as a sustainable company. I becoming the founder and CEO and youngest CEO of the year in renewable from
Yes.
last 2 consecutive years.
Okay.
So that's the thing that what they have given to me as a, let's say, a title, first generation youngest CEO of the year,
Wow.
2020, I think 3 and 2024 subsequently. The title, what if we are winning the title, then it should be carrying the legacy in terms of delivering the things to our, let's say, team members also.
Hmm.
So this how the thing. Second thing is that in terms of EV, what is the myth which is currently running on?
Yeah.
Whenever we are buying the EV, then the biggest myth is that it is a kind of a temporary battery life, or let's say
Hmm.
range anxiety, the major thing. And
Hmm.
the much more important is the right to charge. So
Right.
we give the different scenario to our, let's say, end customers while putting the charging stations. We give them that's kind of a comfort that we are comparing the things with the ICE engine vehicles. And
Hmm.
if ICE engine vehicle is there, then the fueling time is almost around, let's say, hardly around 2 minutes, 5 minutes maximum. So
Right.
we give them the product accordingly that if they can juice up with my EV chargers, then the from 0% to 80%, the time would be somewhat around roughly 12 minutes to 15 minutes like this. So it's
Hmm.
like chai is equal to charging. That what kind of a motto that we are carrying. So
Okay.
if you're consuming a cup of a chai and then your car is going to be the charge for, let's say, next 250, 300 odd numbers of kilometers, then I think it is
That's
going to be the
interesting.
sufficient for, yeah.
Hmm.
So that's going to be the sufficient for them at least to buy, or let's say to adopt the EV cars. So that
Hmm.
myth we have already been vanished from the markets also. Now we are partnering with the Geo and Reliance and many
Mm.
other players, Tata also. And
Mm.
then with their infrastructure, we are putting our machines, and then we cater them that okay, now the charging is that much easy, it's user friendly. You just plug the gun and the charger will identify that okay, this is there is car is having this much amount of a wallet, and then you don't need to touch the screen also. This kind of a comfort that what we are delivering, having a
Mm.
more power to the EV adoption.
Mm-hmm. Okay, really great to hear. So, when you talk about, product and innovation, what is the most exciting part for you, especially, is about your product or innovation that you're doing at Mindra?
Okay, so product and innovation. So I tell you that Mindra always take, let's say, a place in terms of a competitors by only
Mm.
delivering the innovative products.
Okay.
When we started the product like solar inverters and EV charging stations, then
Mm.
we are going with always as a, let's say, something which is going to be the different, which is not available in the market, and
Mm.
then we replace the market. I'm
Mm.
giving you just an example that every player is giving them a charger at 60 kilowatt or 80 kilowatt standalone chargers. And then
Mm.
we are coming up with the dispenser technology. And then
Mm.
this dispenser technology is something like if you have a, let's say, a multiple odd numbers of the car, then the power can be diverted from one car to another car of the dispensers also. So this
Okay.
kind of different technologies, which is giving us a place rather than having a existing players.
Okay.
So we always focus that, let's say, if you are a mature industry, then it takes a time at least to adopt the technology for, let's say, going in terms of alpha stages, beta stages, and many more stages. But
Mm.
when you are a new generation company like us, then agility is the main thing. You can adopt the new thing, you can dive in whatever the depth you want it to dive, and then you can find any kind of let's say jewels in terms of getting out from the diving. So this kind of a freedom that what we are having, we can at least leverage that freedom. We pitch the market to the product, which take the sufficient product of the market, and after all, we cater the market.
Mm.
Adding to this, Shipra, I tell you that I am a technical guy.
Mm.
I'm an engineer. You can say I passed in the power electronics field only, which is the main domain of myself. But the thing is that when you are doing a business, then you need to at least park some of your technical rather than entrepreneurship.
Mm.
So
Right.
let's say if I'm talking about I go to the customers, then I'm not the person who sells the product which I'm making by myself. I am making the product which is required into the market.
Mm.
So that's how we drive the businesses. We
Mm.
see that what actually customer requires, and accordingly we frame the technology, accordingly we build the technology, we innovate the thing, and then we pitch to the market. The
Mm.
biggest example is the Rohini Depot and many other like GOBP, Pune International Airport also, where it's kind of a, let's say, a first dispenser technology, ultra fast charging stations, 720 kilowatt, 960 kilowatt, 1 megawatt. So this
Mm.
technology we have already been delivered, I think 1.5 to 2 years back. And now the matured company is taking a vision that okay, from next year we are coming up with this technology. So
Mm.
this
Mm.
kind of agility help us to at least mitigate the complexion and numbers also.
Mm-hmm. So, you just talked about technology, right? So there are, I mean, in the CV space, there are a lot of, people. I'm sure there must be competitors. So what is that technology, Mindra's technology, that sets you apart from other, players in the industry?
Actually, Mindra's technology is only not limited to the technical background, like we
Mm.
give you X plus Y, X plus Z. We
Mm.
directly tell them that we are impacting in your revenue books of this much of the, let's say, a margin, this much of the profit.
Mm.
First of all, we analyze the TCO, which is the total cost of ownership of the whole project. Then
Mm.
we see that how much contribution that what we can cater as a Mindra's product.
Mm.
Then we can tell them that okay, your TCO for currently having a X product is, let's say, 1.2 crores, while
Mm.
what the product, not the, let's say, only a product limited to the product, but kind of a technology that what we are delivering or solution, then your TCO will be a X minus, let's say, 20% or
Mm.
30%. And
Mm.
then in terms of a totality, we tell them that okay, now you need to use this product.
Mm.
So this kind of approach, we can say a kind of a prognostic approach, which is leading us to having a space in the technical market and placement of our product better as compared to our competitor in the technical market also.
Hmm. Okay. And when you just spoke about few of your customers, right? So you know, how do you use the customer insights? I'm sure you must be trying to understand how your customers feel about the product. How is it, are they happy or not happy? So, how do you use those insights in your, maybe future roadmap or maybe currently the work that you're doing? How do you try to implement it? Or if there are any issues or they are facing any challenges what process or how do you address those?
Let's say customer satisfaction is much more required, so we take care of the two customers in our ecosystem
Mm,
chain. One is that the infrastructure player who is already having a brand in our charging station like Adani or Jio, and
mm,
another one is the end customer. Let's say if you are driving the
right,
car, you are
right,
coming
I'm
up with
driving
the,
an
let's say,
mm,
and then so we need to face and make satisfy both the customers.
mm,
The first customer, let's say if we're talking about the end users, then we need to understand that if you plug the gun, then
mm,
I think the first time when you are plugging the gun, the charger should charge. So
mm,
it is we called as a right to charge policy. If I plug the gun, then it should charge without any problem.
mm,
So same thing what we are carrying right now, irrespective of any cars, because we are currently the laboratory for the many car manufacturers also
mm,
for our premises. So in spite of any car, if you are coming to our charging station, from the first only, let's say a try of the charging, it should charge. So that we have a ratio of 99.2 percentage of the success ratio.
that's huge.
That
Mm,
yeah, so that's the thing that gives the satisfaction that okay, this charging station is charging. And
mm,
now we are also taking the accountability of power issues also in our product. So if let's say our
mm,
product is stands, but if the power issue is all power problem is also there, sometimes power outages, sometimes let's say a single phasing problem is there. Sometimes the charging station put on a, let's say, a middle of the highway where there is a lack of the power infrastructures. So now we are also taking care by the backup application, not using the generator but using the battery storage systems also, that you can get at least a charging while you are coming to, let's say, our charging station.
mm,
Though power is not there, we will divert it into the, let's say, fast charging or slow charging, but you will get a charge. So right to charge policy will be the first prominent thing that what we need to offer. Second
okay.
is an infrastructure player. So infrastructure player, we give them a good amount of service satisfaction, and that's how it is making us as a brand upliftment, what we can
Mm,
say. So
mm,
for this, we give them a preventive maintenance schedules. We give them a diagnostic schedules. If let's say anything happens to our charging stations, once they know before we know that okay, there is a problem in charging stations.
mm,
So there is whole central systems integrated with artificial intelligence AI, what we called, and
mm,
then through this we control that okay, the charging station which is stationed at the, let's say, Udaipur highway, they have this kind of a problem. And before the, let's say, some of our customers who address us, we our engineers reach the site and they start already troubleshooting the things. So this
mm,
kind of a satisfaction that you need to deliver right now in India, because now India is almost around 1.5 billion of the people that who is driving the economy. And if you are not giving the services, then someone already waiting, at least having the chance to deliver the services.
right. So, talking about, let's say, next 12 months, maybe a year or so, what is your thought process around what you're building and how, what will be the adoption like? What will happen, maybe according to you, what will happen in next, say, 12 to 24 months? What do you think? What is your vision about it?
Uh, as per the,
Especially
let's
on the
say,
EV charging space.
current trend on EV charging, the next, let's say, 6 months or 1 year, the market will going to get a boom. And starting with the, if you observe the duck curve, then it is going to start to pick up as a duck, let's say a neck of the duck, where
Mm,
it's proportionately inclined towards the market. There
mm,
are basically a few backbones at least to gear up the market, because
mm,
the battery price is down and down again and again.
mm,
If we are excluding this recent scenario where the commodities become high, before that the battery price was almost around a one third what the actual battery price was. And this is kind of a stationary price hike of the current metal products. But
mm,
afterwards, let's say if I'm talking about the April or someone, the metal price is also going to get down also.
Hmm.
lithium price is also going to get down, the battery price is going to get down, and that's why the car of the EV, which
Hmm.
is having a sound enough of the range like 500 kilometers, 600 kilometers, 700 kilometers,
Hmm.
is equally to the price of ICE engine cars also.
Okay.
The charging and it lead to the charging infrastructure, that okay, we need to have a more requirement of a charging infrastructure like 5 kilometers of the grid of
Hmm.
the highways, 10 kilometers of the grid of the highways.
Hmm.
This how the things will be catered. Currently the trend in terms of a utilization of the, let's say, our machine is
Hmm.
also gearing up by at least 2 to 3 times. So that's how we are seeing that in the next 1 year, I think we are seeing not kind of a bullish, but it's almost around 150 to 160 percentage of the
Hmm.
market high what we are seeing right now.
Okay. And in terms of, say, this was overall EV, but in terms of technology adoption, what do you think is going to boom? Like telematics, ADAS, and everything, with being involved. And now we can see that cars are more and more cars are having these ADAS functionalities. While there are a lot of, contrary speculations that, I mean, what's the need of ADAS in Indian market? Indian roads are not, I mean, better for using ADAS. So, what's your thought about technology adoption happening in, say, next 1 year or 2 years?
I think in next 1 year, let's segmentize into the different vehicle zones. First, we are talking about LMV, where the car
Hmm.
and the, let's say, LMV cars will be there,
Hmm. Hmm.
where we are seeing a huge growth of the range, like 6, 700, 700 kilometers. So I think 800, 900 kilometers of the range. So if
Hmm.
you charge the car, then you can having a range of, let's say, 900 kilometers, 800 kilometers straight away.
Hmm.
That's how the things will work. Second thing is that, let's say, in terms of the ADAS plus a multimedia AI functionality.
Hmm.
So this kind of a regenerative functions also is going to be the impacted a lot. We are
Hmm.
seeing a hybrid vehicles also taking
Right.
it's insert pickup as compared to the regular automobile sections also. So that
Hmm.
is also kind of a new thing. When we are talking about, let's say, from LMV to buses as well as trucks also. So this kind of segment is, I think, a much more higher trend in terms of gearing up the converting themselves in EV rather than ICE engine, because
Hmm.
the commercial vehicle is there. Their wheel is always going to be the run. It's not like utilization or something. They
Hmm.
need to run the wheel to earn the incomes, and that's how the business sense is also coming up for the, let's say, buses as well as the e-trucks also. We are currently seeing that e-trucks is picking up the market.
Hmm.
The buses is also picking up the market, and this how the things will be, I think, gearing up. We are in initial stage. We have seen a battery swapping technology also, but currently, I think for LMV battery swapping will not be there. The trucks, if you're talking about, then the battery swapping will take place in the future. But
Okay. But why is that? I mean, LMP, why do you say that it's difficult or maybe challenging for them to?
so LMV, they have a battery at the bottom side, so it is a
Hmm.
kind of sealed battery. Once you
Hmm.
need to replace the battery, then you need to
You have
lift
to
up,
open it.
let's say,
Okay.
LMV, then you open it. While
Okay.
the truck, they have a battery like a vertical slab kind of a battery, so it's like a robotic arms that you need to
You
lift
can
up the
just take
battery,
it out and charge it.
change.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
actually,
And
that's why
and
it's going to be feasible.
okay. And there, I have recently seen that there is a plug-in charge option in most of the EVs. That's, I'm sure you must have heard about it, right? Plug, and then there will be UPI or payment happening, instant payment that happens, something like that. I mean, can you explain to our viewers what is that exactly, and if Mindra is also doing that, or maybe planning something in future around that?
Yeah, so plug and charge, or let's say auto charge functionality, is the functionality where you only just need to plug the
Hmm.
vehicle to the charger only, and then
Hmm.
just plugging and you do nothing. And then
Okay.
charger automatically finds out that okay, this is the Dhairya's vehicle. Okay,
Hmm.
Dhairya's wallet has been topped up already around 1,000 or 1,500 bucks, and
Okay.
then we need to start the charging like this. So we've been already initiated these things, I think, 1.5 years back,
Okay.
and this is kind of a customer satisfaction, that let's say if I am going or someone else, like my driver is also going with the car, then he don't need to do anything from the mobile phone. He
Okay.
just need to plug the gun, and then
And
that's
they'll
it,
be charged automatically.
automatically.
But don't you think there will be any security issues or any, in terms of, because it's a, software, and I don't know, I mean, how does it work, and are there any issues, security issues, or not at all, or like customers are fine?
So current technology, what we are using as the plug-in charge or auto charge is that they have an end-to-end encrypted what we have as a messaging also. This is
Okay.
kind of a certification exchange, like charger will
Okay.
exchange a certification and car is also exchanging certification.
Okay.
And this is kind of one token ID which is generated from the car, which is going to the charger, and then the charger is identifying the same.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
if you're talking about let's say Mindra's charger, we are a VAPT certified, means cyber security approved chargers.
Hmm.
I think we are the first one in India who is cyber security approved, same like ATM machines also. Because charger is
Hmm.
also doing the transactions of the cash. Let's say they are making a debit and credit. So that's why this kind of activities is going to be the secured with VAPT approved software technology.
Right, right. Okay, got it. That's interesting. So, talking about your partnerships, right? I mean, if you can let us know what are you doing in partnership? What's new that's coming up that viewers are should look for, especially from Mindra point of view. Any innovation that you are working on, then we can expect maybe in future. What's happening around that partnership or collaboration?
Collaboration, like we are pouring ourselves in terms of a battery storage systems, BES is what we call. This is a quite interesting subject into the future market. This market is going to be the very big. First thing is that this market is changing the market of what we call as a DG set, diesel generator, where let's say power is not available. But now it is not like this. We need to use the BESS system. It is going to be the replaceable, and price to price comparison is also been there. In
Okay,
India,
okay.
or let's say in any country, the economical viability should be the first one to adopt the technology. So this is now
Okay.
the economical viable. Our
Hmm.
partnership, we partnered with the REPT for 1 gigawatt hour of the battery storage. They are a tier one. They are very giant in China. They have a lithium mines also, lithium cobalt mines. And with them, we are currently building up for the ecosystem of 1 gigawatt hour of the battery pack.
Okay. RMPT, right? Okay. Okay. And
REPT.
okay, REPT. Okay. And what is that VSS that you just spoke? I mean, what's the full form of that?
Battery energy storage system.
Okay,
It's
BES.
through
Okay.
lithium battery you store the energy.
Okay, okay, okay. One last question there. Uh, what is your vision for Mindra in next 3 to 5 years? What is that you think Mindra will achieve, or you plan, or just see through it that okay, Mindra is going to achieve in next 3 to 5 years, and viewers should look forward to that.
I tell you very frankly, Shipra, that now once you are coming from let's say a startup to a mid-size of the company,
Hmm.
then now the vision is not your vision. It's now let's say leader's vision
Hmm.
whose team you are right now having with. So from let's say a zero to till now, I took the vision that okay, we'll see this. Now
Hmm.
my team members see the vision that we need to do this, we need to do this, and that's how they track me. That hey, no, you are taking a vision at let's say very conservative side. We need to do at least minimal of this amount of work. At least we need
Right.
to foray into this kind of a things. What we started when we are let's say a team of three. Now whenever we are a team of let's say 300, it's 100x of the growth in next 7 years. Then it's kind of a pyramid structure that what we have.
Hmm. Hmm.
I There is a let's say a CXO team is there, then we have
Hmm.
heads of the department, then we have managers. So they frame that what will be the next year of the vision, and I
Hmm.
need to be always aligned in supporting with them.
Hmm.
Now Mindra is not only the mind. Mindra is from all of them who is making the Mindra, taking it to the new visions. Our What we thought that from the next 3 years, we definitely been there in terms of a main board by listing our companies also.
Hmm.
Our
Okay.
main focus is that we put let's say a 1.8 million metric ton of the carbon dioxide reduction by putting our products into the ground also. We've been there that we will install at least a 1 gigawatt hour of the battery production in next 1.5 years also into the ground, which is going to be the operational.
Okay.
And we've been there at least having let's say 1 million of the charging stations into the Indian roadside also. This
Hmm.
kind of a numbers that what we take, and accordingly the team is also taking the things, and the
Okay.
mission is going on.
Okay. And what about your expansion of segments? Like currently you're serving what segments of Madhi market, and then maybe in future you plan to, or you're serving every other vertical here right now. What's your
Currently, we are serving with the many another verticals like solar verticals. We are serving electric vehicle verticals. We are serving,
hmm.
let's say, a DG genset is going to be the served by us also.
Okay.
Market like let's say some commercials market, malls,
Mhm.
residential areas, then cinemas also.
Hmm.
Many other things like retail outlets of a fuel dispenser machines also.
Okay.
So this kind of a thing we are having in mind. Let's say beside this, the another sector what we need to serve is also the automobile
Hmm.
industry with the different kind of a fuel also, that what we innovate, because in a technical mindset we can innovate the things.
Right.
So we are just taking a thought that what kind of a next generation, like if it is a hydrogen fuel cell or let's say sodium ion batteries we need to work on. So this kind
Right.
of a segment we are also exploring the things.
Okay, okay. So thank you so much, Dhairya. You gave all your answers with a lot of patience. You know,
Thanks a lot.
thank you so much for coming on the episode. And for
Thanks
all
a lot.
our viewers, if you like the episode, please do share, subscribe, and please do watch our next episode coming up very soon. Thank you so much. Thanks, Dhairya.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks.
you.